And hello and welcome to another exterior video where I work on my truck. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. And on today's video I got something very exciting that I really wanted to get for a very long time. I know I always say that, but that's how the things are. I always just want something and it takes time, but eventually I get it. Anyways, on today's video I'm gonna try to install my winch. So it's more recovery gear. I'm gonna install winch into my bumper. So let's open. And this is the winch I got, guys, by the company called RUGCEL. I hope I pronounced it right. So it's by this company, RUGCEL. I mean, yeah, there is a lot of winches out there. There is expensive winches, there is cheap winches, and everything in between. So me being on a budget, I cannot spend $1,000 or even $600 on a winch. So this is what I went with. I read some reviews and this seems to be like a good winch. It has a wired remote, as removable control box. It has two wireless remotes and looks like it has some kind of wiring in there. So, and of course it's rated, I guess 12 or 13,500 pounds. We'll find out, but it's pretty heavy actually. It's very heavy. So now I'm kind of concerned how I'm gonna mount it on the bumper and then put everything back together. I did mount it bumper by myself, but this I feel like is above my limits. But anyways, enough of me talking. Let's open it up and let's see what's inside. It's actually getting already late, but I'm too excited and I cannot wait for tomorrow. All right, we have some brochure over here. That's pretty nice, just explaining how to use it, I guess, and how to do the recovery properly. That's pretty good. We have our little strap over here. I always call things little. And we have this. I believe this is aluminum alloy. So this is gonna go on the front of my bumper. For some reason, I feel like this is gonna look like it has a lipstick now. But we'll see. We have one metal hook over here. That's pretty good as well. Now it comes with all the hardware. And by the looks of it, it's a 12.9 hard steel bolts, so that's pretty good. And here we go, there is the winch itself. Alright guys, and just look at all this stuff. So it comes with two wireless remotes. It has a hardwire remote. That is very important. In case they failed, battery died or something, you have always a hardwired backup. It has this, not even sure what it calls. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what it calls. It's just me been living under the rock, but that's where the rope is gonna go through. And actually this comes with not steel, it comes with a synthetic rope and it's red. That's amazing. I really like that. Like I already mentioned, it comes with all the hardware, all the bolts, and they're all hard, very high grade. At least that's what it's stamped on. Comes with the red hook, comes with all the cables that's gonna get wired to the winch. And these two cables are gonna go straight to the battery. That's pretty good. And this box can be relocated, I guess, anywhere pretty much, I hope. And another thing, it comes with a cover. In case the winch is exposed, you can cover it up. But I don't really know how that's gonna work out over there. So now I'm gonna take off all my stuff, take off my bumper, and we're gonna see how I'm gonna mount in there. So now I'm gonna take my bumper off and I'm gonna try to mount the winch on the... So let's start by mounting our winch to the bumper. And the way we're gonna do it, it's gonna be mounted actually to these holes from the inside, from this side. So the winch is actually mounted like this. So it's gonna be mounted to these 4 holes. So let's mount the winch over here and then I can work on routing the wires to the battery. So now we're gonna slide this, provided to us square nut, into these spots over here. But if you just put it like that, they kind of move all over the place, and then whenever you install the winch, they're gonna slide out. It's gonna be hard time aligning. So what I've seen people do, they wrap this around the painter's tape or something and then just push it in there, align it, and that's pretty much where it's gonna be, and that's gonna be fine. So now I'm gonna do that for all of them, just like that. And then we can mount it to the bumper. Now before I mount the winch, I need to connect my negative cable on the bottom over here and this skinny ground cable over here, because then it's gonna be probably kind of harder to do. So I better off doing it now, tying it in here. And the rest of the cables I'm gonna worry about later. I'm gonna still trying to figure out where I'm gonna mount this box. Maybe I even have to relocate this box, maybe I have to, I don't know. We'll see, maybe I have to extend this cable, we'll see. So unfortunately, the way this bumper is set up and the way this winch is getting mounted, since it's getting mounted to the front face of the bumper, these bolts that it came with, they somewhat a little bit too short because it's very thick over here. It's a double layered steel over here, so the washers, not all of them gonna work, and definitely this not gonna fit in there. So I made a quick run to a store and I had to pick up a different bolts. I picked up 3/8 because we don't have much metric over here anywhere. The good thing that the winch is mounted to the front, so the all force is getting pulled, and it's not like it's mounted from the side, from the top, and it's gonna get ripped out, so that's fine. So I picked up this 3/8 square nuts and these bolts. So now I'm gonna have to take the winch out, take those nuts out, try to put this one, hopefully they fit, and see if I can use any of this stuff that I picked up. And luckily these new nuts, square nuts that I picked up, they fit in here perfect. So that's good. So now I'm just gonna align the top bolts, screw them in place. Looks like something like that. Okay, let's flip this over. Okay, nice. Now I'm gonna see if I can put the plate over here and put 2 bolts over here. Okay. So for the bottom 2 bolts I'm using the 2-inch bolts, 3/8, and for the top I'm using 1.5 inches, because over here we have this a red lipstick now. Okay guys, and the winch is mounted with my new bolts. This should be fine. Like I said, the winch is mounted like this, so all force is getting pulled. So these bolts are still grade 8, so they are hard bolts, they're not regular bolts. That should be good. So now I'm gonna see how I'm gonna organize the cables and prepare it to be mounted on a truck. As you can see, I've wrapped all the cables inside the 1/2-inch wire loom. First of all, I think it's gonna look better, and that way the wires are more protected. So now I need to figure out where I'm gonna mount this box so I have access for the remote over here. So once I do that, I can mount it, and I'm gonna show you how I secure the box. Alright guys, so this box is mounted over here for now. I'm using this heavy duty zip tie on this side, but on the bottom I have 2 bolts holding it, so this shouldn't go anywhere. Maybe later on I'll figure out something else. I connected all the wires over here, so that should be good, and these 2 wires gonna go to the battery through somewhere. So now with the help of a friend, we're gonna lift it up, we're gonna mount it, secure it, and then we're gonna worry about connecting all the wires. Alright guys, so the bumper is mounted. I just have to level it, but I had to cut off this piece over here. It's actually not doing anything anymore, but it was interfering with the winch over here. So now that it's cut off, there is no issue over here. And for this engage disengage, I have this cut out over here, and I can reach it through there just fine. Now this box for the controller, I have 2 options. Option number 1, I just have to remove the grill whenever I have to access it, or apparently they sell a wire like extension or something that you plug it in there and then you can route it anywhere. Maybe I can mount it over here, and that's where my remote's gonna go. But yeah, that's something to figure out as well. Alright guys, so I got 2 my cables over here. I routed them between the bumper and the headlight. Over there is plenty of space, and I also heat shrink these 2 ends so I know which one is which, and it also looks pretty, I think. So now I'm gonna connect it to the battery, hide this extra slack somewhere nice. The good thing about these cables coming from the winch going to the battery, that they are pretty long, so no matter where your battery is located, they're gonna reach. And I believe this is pretty much ready to be tested. Of course I gotta figure out how I'm gonna secure my license plate over here, but that's no worries. So right now I'm working to modify my license plate to still keep it over here, but I don't want to make new holes, because too much with these holes they're gonna go through the numbers, and I don't think that's allowed. So of course I can buy some kind of bracket from online, but I decided just to build my own. It's very simple stuff, and yeah, so I just got a metal plate, cut it. This is gonna be my back plate for its support. Now over here, these holes, I made it enlarged for them too much for these bolts to be almost flushed. It's not gonna be very flush, but it's almost flushed. That's fine. And then I'm gonna use these aluminum brackets as a spacers to accommodate for these bolts. And basically this is gonna be like this. and on the other side it's gonna be a washer with a nylon nut, so it's not gonna go anywhere. So I'm gonna secure this, and then I'm gonna mark the holes for the license. And the plate is on, and it's not moving, and it's not going anywhere. So now I'm gonna mark 4 holes for this license plate over here and screw it with some bolts in, and that's it. And just small update, I also built this cover over here because there is an opening over here where the water and rain and snow and everything is gonna fall on top of the winch, even though it's not probably necessary because it's IP68, so it's water resistant and stuff like that. But anyways, I built this small cover. As you can see, I have magnets over there, and all the way around I have this seal, so whenever I put it on, it stays in place solid, it doesn't move anywhere, and it also protects the winch. So I think it's a good addition. Alright guys, everything is back and mounted, everything is ready. The license plate is nice and secured. The winch is wired up directly to the battery, so I think this is all done. So now we can test it out. Now unfortunately for now, the way I mounted the box in there, I have no access for this wired remote, which is, I think it's important to have. I need to figure this out, maybe relocate or bring the wire out somehow, something, to have it maybe over here so I can plug it in over here and operate it like that. I think they sell special wires as extenders or something. But for now, we also have 2 wireless remote. I don't see why it will fail or something. It might eventually, but for now we're gonna use the wireless remote. So let me start the truck and let's test the winch out. So from here I can reach and disengage, and that will allow the free pull. That's pretty good. Now I'm gonna press this button over here. I believe that's to start pairing, something like that. And let's press the button that says in, and let's see if it's gonna start pulling me in. Yeah, it works no problem, guys. It works no problem. And if you release, of course, it stops pulling. I believe the cycle is between 15 to 30 seconds of pulling with a load, so just be mindful of that. Of course, each winch is different probably, but as of this, this works perfect. I'm very happy that I have a winch, that I finally have a winch. Like I was saying, it's maybe not the top of the world winch, but it's a winch and I'm happy. Now I might need to replace this hook. I don't know if you guys have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And also this, I don't know, should I keep this, get a different one, or paint it, or just leave it as it is? I mean, it looks fine, I guess. But yes, this stuff works. Now once I get more recovery gear, I have something on the way. I have the tree saver, and I ordered 2 blankets. I think that's what they call the one you put on a rope, so God forbid it snaps, it kind of kills the momentum, so the hook or whatever is not gonna fly back towards you. So I'm just waiting on that to test, and then I'm gonna test the winch out on the field. I'm gonna see if it's gonna pull my truck or not. So leave any other recommendations for recovery gear, ropes, hooks, or what you guys suggest to use, so I will look into that as well. So as always, I'm gonna leave all the links in the descriptions to all the stuff that I got and used. In this case it's just a winch for the most part, and also I'm gonna leave the links for the recovery ropes that I ordered and waiting on that. So on this note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you might find it helpful, and as always, until next time, everybody, bye.